Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Bobo the Vulture. This is Let's Play Castlevania Symphony of the Night. This is what I tend to think is gonna be the conclusion of Let's Play Castlevania Symphony of the Night, because there's not much else to happen. The castle's not completely explored in every nook and cranny. You will see it is only 190% completed out of a possible... I think the maximum you can get is actually somewhere around 206 or something like that, because there are ways that you can glitch out the game and explore like parts of screens that you shouldn't be able to get to, really. But I'm pretty sure that they have the game. It's supposed to be set up into the area they intend you to be able to explore. If you explore all of it, will get you up to 200. 190 ain't bad. I also have a 6-figure income there from all that I've been able to accomplish. I'm there in the Reverts Coliseum. Now loading. Is that like Falcon Crawls? It might be, folks. But yeah, we're in the Reverse Coliseum CD. Will that be the last CD we encounter? It may be. Oh wait, was that one of the places I didn't explore in this castle? No, I did. I got the stopwatch. And he's dead. Da-da-do-da-da-da, he's dead. Alright. Now, there are other things that I could do. There are other items that I could find. Somebody made some mention of the fact that nearby Dracula's little... Oh, this is probably the last CD. I know, Sword. I too am at half-mast for CD. Tell you what I'm gonna do, though. I can go into my relics. I'm going to go ahead and summon the Fairy. Because I feel like for fighting a boss, having the Fairy around to recover you, probably a better deal than having the sword around, flinging whatever. Yeah, these Guardians, I'm probably not going to spend a whole lot of time trying to deal with it. Oh hey, I got another level up out of just fighting those two. They do give a ludicrous amount of experience. But I was told, and I have no reason to disbelieve, that the Guardians dropped something known as the God Armor. The God Armor. Which is potentially not the very best armor in the game, but good armor. still getting tons of experience from these guys. And that leaves me out of magic, so... having done all that, let's go over here. Yes, and overwrite the data. Wapong. Data saved. I now have 778 hit points. Don't have the maximum by any stretch. Okay, I couldn't remember what was in that room. I still can't, but whatever it was, it's not there now. Hey, look, Fairy, it's a new, scary place. You know what? I'm not going into the place from that side this time, because last time I did that, bad things happened. I got sucked into a battle I wasn't actually intending on going into. But there we go. There, and now I've explored a little bit more of the castle, so... let me check my items, my equipment, the walk armor. The walk armor is the best armor I have, not taking into account elemental resistances, so that's good. Now, the sunstone. It is still daylight, apparently, so that's cool. And I tell you what, we're not going to get rare items by defeating Dracula, so let's go ahead and... let's go ahead and get a different... wow. The Ring of Ares would significantly increase my attack, but half my defense. The Ring of Pails would give me holy powers. Moonstone wouldn't do anything because I guess it's not sunset. I'm gonna go ahead and equip... do I equip the Ring of Pails, or do I equip the Talisman? Talisman might absorb the damage I take. I'll go ahead and absorb that, or use that. The Dragon Helm. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I had the right armor on, because I was using the walk armor for a long time there. Which isn't terrible armor, but it's not the best armor. Nothing but the best from my dad. And the Dark Priest shaft.
You have done well in making it this far. I would expect no less from the son of our master.
So you are the one who was controlling Belmont?
Yes. I am the Dark Priest called Shaft. This world must be cleansed in the forge of chaos.
Why did you make Belmont lord of this castle?
For centuries, vampire hunters have defeated evil with holy power. But
Or, you know,
if
they're
two
vampire
vampire
hunter team, they just
hunters were to
a
fight
single
each
name.
other,
Or a single
But
initial.
Belmont's power is supreme among vampire hunters. None other could defeat him.
exactly. That's why I removed him as a threat, by making him into lord of this castle.
But your plan has failed.
Has it indeed?
Yes, sucker.
We'll see what happens after I destroy your weak human side.
Dark Priest shaft, do you really think that's gonna happen? That was not a big deal, Shaft.
No!
You claim to love the darkness. Go then and dwell there for all eternity.
Oh, I thank you.
But my goal is achieved. Count Dracula has come to purify this corrupt world with the searing flames of chaos.
Achievement unlocked. I'll gifts of flames of chaos, like Mudge, or not, like Cao Cao. That was a real eye-opener. Meanwhile,
Father.
Well met, my son. It's been a long time.
Since I rock and rolled.
I was hoping we would not see each other again. I can't allow you to leave here, Father.
You have ever been the ally of humans. Have you forgotten what they did to your mother?
Think you I would forget such a thing? No, but neither do I seek revenge against them.
Still uttering the same nonsense. No matter. Now is the time to put aside your weak human side and join me in remaking this world.
Put aside the side there,
Dracula,
sidey side.
in the name of my mother, I will defeat you again.
Behold my true form and despair!
Yeah. Pretty much no place to be safe here, so you just need to kind of keep on wailing. And he might do something like this. Gonna charge up some kind of force lightning, fireball, thunder doodad. Hey, enough of that. I'm kind of being juggled over here. Man. I could use a little help here, girl. Not what I meant. Ah, jeez, I'm trapped in the... Oh, stuck in a pattern again. Man, it would help significantly if I could. I'm not getting my soul steel to work at all here, am I? I'm just spouting out random magical spells. You know, I could use this particular moment to get a healing item. Something like juicy seedless grapes. Or maybe... Surely I have a Chinese pork bun. Karma coin, it has two effects. Barley tea. Peanuts, those are difficult to eat. I don't want to be worrying about how to eat peanuts right now. Oh, that sounds like it was kind of painful. Alright, let's go back and find the Alucard sword here. Not the Crissaegrum. Doing this legit-ish. Jeez. wow.
Go back
So
whence
close.
you came. Trouble the soul of my mother no more.
How? How is it that I've been so defeated?
You have been doomed ever since you lost the ability to love.
Sarcasm. For what profit is it to a man if he gains the world and loses his own soul? Matthew 16:26, I believe.
Perhaps the same could be said of all religions.
Tell me, what were Lisa's last words?
Oh.
She said, do not hate humans. If you cannot live with them, then at least do them no harm. For theirs is already a hard lot. She also said to tell you that she would love you for all of eternity.
Well, she could have if she'd taken the bite.
Forgive me. Farewell, my son.
Oh, thanks for the potion, honey. Well, that's Dracula. And unless we're getting a sideways castle appearing now or something, yeah, okay, we got the vortex of, crazy CG happening now. And the castle's being teleported up and away. This seems eerily similar to the ending that I got probably, at this point, more than half the LP ago, in which, we defeated, Richter as the Master of Disaster of the Palace. Is this really the end of lovable Dracula? I kind of wanted to side with Dracula just because his dialogue was less stilted, but then he started throwing random scripture and crap in there, and I don't know what's going on.
So you made it.
Hey, guys.
Alucard, I'm glad you're all right.
I'm sorry. 'Tis my fault you had to fight your own father.
Fear not. I had my own reasons for destroying him.
It must have been painful for you.
Indeed. But you must always remember that the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing.
I understand.
Well, no, it's if the
Alucard,
good men don't have
What
guns,
will you do
right?
now?
The blood that flows in my veins is cursed. 'Twould be best for this world if I were to disappear forever.
I see.
So goth.
Farewell then. We'll not meet again.
Alucard,
I'm a vampire
Don't
hunter.
you
I could
want to go after him, Maria?
kill you. It would.
no. It's best this way. I can't ease his torment. Someday, perhaps, we will meet again. And on that day, maybe.
Didn't he just say you
I
wouldn't?
see.
Let's go. Everyone's waiting for us.
Yes. Let's get out of here.
All the other beloved characters of this game, like Death and Succubus and... Oh, jeez, we have the same closing credit music? Oh, I fought all the way through the castle again, upside down to hear I Am the Wind another time? I forgot that. Scott McCullough, brother of Bruce McCullough. Some guy named Michael G. Too good for a full last name. I see how it is. Allison Lester. Too good for a last name, just two first ones. Yep, that's what I'm at now, making fun of people's names. Yeah, so, I suppose at this point I should be somewhat thankful I have these headphones on. Because, they're not actually transmitting the game sound. So they're serving as a very slight muffle. I'm not a big fan of this thing. I guess is long story short. Yeah. But this, yeah, I mean, considering it was able to come to an end, and honestly, if I'd been able to sort of get, you know, my soul steel to work, during that final fight with Dracula, I might not even have needed the fairy's help. But of course, the fairy did keep me from dying. Did continue to maintain me. with potions. So, yeah, that was that was Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I'm gonna miss you, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Because as I say, it isn't necessarily for like the remainder of my life a farewell to this game or something like that. But since I've started LPing, I've never gone back and just played a game that I LP'd just for, you know, giggles. Outside of if I return to it to do another playthrough on a different scenario or something like that. And I was about to say there's nothing like that in this game, but I guess there is. I could come back and try and play this game again as Richter, but that's honestly a significantly less interesting game. Because you don't have all the different... You can't fly, you can't turn into mist, you can't be Eric Greedy at JHL Studio or Larry Mott, Mad Hatter Recording Studio. But yeah, no, you just have a couple... Like, you don't... Like, in this game, in this version, this playthrough of the game is Alucard. I tend to think of it as the way the game was sort of initially designed, and then anything else was kind of like, hey, well, you know, we've programmed this character, why not, you know, allow that to happen, and sort of make sure to tweak the game enough that the character can get through. But the Richter character doesn't, like, evolve through, like, going to different spaces in the castle. You can find a new ability that allows you to explore more of the castle. You have all of the tools you're ever going to have as Richter from the very beginning. Which, yeah, I mean, it makes it a different sort of game. I kind of like the way that this one works, in that, you know, you start out and you're sort of, like, you go as far as you can go, and then you sort of, like, this game sort of opens itself up for you like a flower in springtime, which makes it the perfect LP for March into April, you know, the blossoming of spring, the opening up of all the different areas in this game and stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, like I said, yeah, there was 10% more of between the two castles, there was 10 more percentage points of exploration to be done. But what were we really going to find? There were, I guess, 2 relics that I didn't find, and I imagine we would have found those in those 10%, in those spaces. Hey, Konami, what's up? Probably would have found those in those spaces. I forget what one of them is. Like, I had somebody explain what they were in comments here recently. One of them was, yes, as I thought, there is a relic that allows you to not take damage when you're underwater. Somebody theorized it might be called, like, the Holy Snorkel or something like that, but probably not actually called the Holy Snorkel. I think they're right. But it is something like, you know, it does sort of imply what it is. Yeah. So that was Castlevania Symphony of the Night. That's the thing. Like, it's an interesting game to LP, but it's almost a better game to just sort of play at your own leisure. Because if I weren't doing this as an LP, I definitely would have taken, like, you know, a play session or 2 to just go through and, like, level up my familiars. So they're all, like, level 99. Well, maybe not all level 99. I might have gotten there eventually, but at least so that some of them were, like, at really high levels, because they do slightly different things the more advanced they get. Stuff like that. But, you know, that's the same sort of an idea of, like, if I would have had to go through the game, like, if I was going through an RPG and I felt like I had to, like, make sure that all the characters knew all the spells and leveled up to level 99. I'm not actually specifically calling out Mysterious JG in his LP of Final Fantasy X, because I just realized that sounds a lot like what he did, but he did it specifically because they were secret hidden bosses, where that's pretty much the only way that you're going to be able to defeat them. There's nothing like that in Castlevania Symphony of the Night. As you saw, once you get a certain couple of different items, there are no challenges in the game that you couldn't just take care of. Like, I could go back and kill Dracula just using the Alucard shield and the shield rod, and not actually use a weapon, not hit him with the shield rod, just hold the shield up, and he'd take damage, and I'd get healed, and whatever. Or I could have used the Crusagram, and the battle probably would have gone a lot, swifter. As it is, I'm sure there are people who will say it was cheap that at some point during the battle I started using holy water. But I mean, come on, that's one of the default weapons that, like, you find everywhere in the castle. That's not like a hidden secret of the game or anything. But either way, I'd like to think that, yeah, I showed off some of the cheaper ways to go through the game. I mean, I guess the fact that I defeated, what's-his-face, at the very top of the upside-down castle. Was it Galmoth? Or I forget. The guy who was in the Grand Falloon room. The fact that I defeated him. That's something I wouldn't have been able to do without using cheesy weapons, like cheaty weapons. But other than that, there's nothing I really accomplished playing through this game that I had to, like, cheat to win. That said, it was still, it was still fun. It was still a good exploration. I mean, certainly there were still challenges to it. Especially, like, right when you get into, like, when you start the game, there's a certain amount of challenge there. And then it sort of ramps right back up again when you get to the upside-down castle for the first time. Everything just is ready to kill you in an instant. But you get so much experience from the stuff that, after a while, you sort of start to get a little bit better as things go along, as you find better weapons. But yeah, I'm just sort of rambling at this point, but there's not much more to be said about the game. I mean, I love it. It is, it's one of my favorite games, probably my favorite platformer, which is, I'm from the sort of generation of gamers for whom platformers were kind of the meat and potatoes, the bread and butter sort of certainly at least console games. I mean, I suppose platformers are to consoles kind of like what point-and-click adventures were to PC games. They were just like, there was a period of time where that was pretty much your standard genre, because that was what you could do with the tools that you had, and the input devices, and the way everything was set up and stuff. So, yeah. And I forget whether or not I probably mentioned it at some point in time while I was playing the game, but I remember when this came out in 1997, this was, PlayStation was, new-ish, and I mean, well, it was the thing, but of course the thing it was that everything that was coming out for the PlayStation, and I guess N64 was around, was coming out around then too, and the Saturn, but like everything that was coming out for those games was done in 3 dimensions and in polygons, because they're trying to, like, show you this is the amazing stuff that these new consoles can do. And Castlevania Symphony of the Night at the time, to me, felt like it was going to be the last hurrah of the 2-dimensional platformer with, drawn animations and characters. Like, maybe not drawn by, like, hand, because obviously they're being put into a computer. It wasn't like they scanned images and then placed them in. But yeah, something that wasn't done in 3 dimensions. It was done with sort of like, there are frames of animation that everybody has. It's not just this sort of like, well, pixel X moves to pixel, like plane X rotates in conjunction with plane Y, or I don't even know how these three-dimensional crazy goofy things even happen, but it seemed like it was going to be one of the last games, if not the last game, of this particular genre that, was very near and dear to me. Of course, they've come back in a big way with, virtual console downloads and indie games and, all these sorts of things. I mean, you still, like nowadays, you wouldn't see Konami itself putting out a two-dimensional Castlevania game. I mean, they put out two-dimensional Castlevania games now, but I feel like, don't they, like ferret out the process of those to, sub-company design studio places, and then they get released on virtual console? But, you're not going to go into a store. Well, I mean, maybe you will, and I'm sure people will list a million examples now that I've said this. You're not going to go to a store and, pick up, oh, here's a brand new game, it's a 2D platformer. And I imagine there are probably the people that, if they found out that that's what they got, and they came back from the store, they'd be all, what the hell, I want to be able to move around in this, weird environment made out of angles and planes and stuff. Of course, I know environments have gotten so much better now in 3D that it's not as weird as all that, but anyways, what I'm saying is, I think this is, if somebody told me, point to what you would consider the finest example of two-dimensional platformers, I would point directly at this game. I hold it in that high regard, and I have enjoyed playing it immensely, and I hope you've enjoyed watching it immensely, because there's pretty much not more to it. But yeah, this is Bo with a Vulture. This has been Let's Play Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in future Let's Plays. Good night, and goodbye.